Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a card featuring the Safari Friends Tiny Wonders. This is a new digital stamp from Rachelle Anne Miller. There are two more and they're all crazy adorable. You will all love them. I will definitely be sharing another one soon, but on the Rachelle Anne Miller YouTube channel. And the third one I have printed, but so far it is not colored in yet, so I cannot promise anything so far. So for the coloring here, I decided to start with the giraffe, and I'm going to color those spots darker. So I didn't bother going around the circles or the spots, just because it will be covered completely by a darker combination. Now, in case you don't know yet, I already shared a video and two posts on Instagram concerning, but there is a free printable for you at the Rachelle Anne Miller site. If you want to start with Copic combinations and getting a blending chart ready, or for any other marker actually. So if you are looking for that gorgeous chart that you could color in, it's out there and it's free, so definitely do that. Print it out like you do with the digital stamps and enjoy the fun, and afterwards you will have this gorgeous chart ready to go, ready to get inspired by. I will have one coming up soon. I think it's the green one, yellow green more specific, and the others I will be creating and hopefully share really soon as well. So as you can see here, I'm onto my darker brown combination, and it is going to cover everything that I previously colored with my lighter combination. So don't be afraid to just skip avoiding certain parts if you know that it will be darker later on. If you want your spots to be lighter, I wouldn't suggest going over it with the darkest color, of course. Now, in case you want to revisit the combinations later on that I'm using here, you can find them on my blog post as always. There I have everything listed for the giraffe, the elephant, the mouse, and so on. So really simple to retrieve, or otherwise you can always write it down or color along while I'm coloring here. Now for the elephant, I went for the warm grays. I have warm grays and cold grays. From the warm grays, I have them all. I bought like the package all the way in the beginning of my Copic coloring adventure. And I was always a bit like bummed because in my head I wanted the gold grays, but I had no clue what the C and the W were standing for. I know now it all sounds logical, but back then it wasn't. So I got the warm grays, and then later on I bought like all the Chow gold grays. And I must admit, even though I now have the gold grays that I have been wanting for so long, I actually always grab towards my warm grays because I also really love using browns, and there is some sort of a brown tint in it. So if I have other critters like the giraffe and the brown spots, I always find that the warm grays go so well with the other critters because it's just warm, you know, and the brown is also warm. So concerning the gray combinations, there has been someone asking for them to share them. If you're watching, can you let me know if it's okay if I do warm grays separate from cold grays? I don't know if I have tons of combinations with the cold ones. I will still see if they can fit like on the bottom row maybe. Or what do you think? What are the thoughts about the combinations concerning the gray markers? Is it a mixture of cold, warm, and so on, or is it warm grays, cold grays, all separate? And then you have the neutrals and the, well, there are multiple grays, of course. So here I really wanted to make sure for the mouse that it was still gray, but that it was a ton lighter or completely different from the elephant. It's really hard sometimes to well, see two images separate if they have complete same color, and I love reusing color combinations. But in the case of critters, I sort of try every time to give them another combination. Sometimes it's just one marker that is different, but it gives another combination, and that counts for me as well. But the mouse, I use 2 markers of the elephant and then really the 2 lightest. Now concerning the grass and the flowers and the ball, I had no clue yet what I was going to do. But first for the background, it had been a while since I used my favorite stencil. And I don't know if you recall it, but my favorite stencil is the Watercolor Wash Freeform stencil from My Favorite Things. So here I just have printed the image exactly the same as on my Transotype on just regular printer paper. It's a cheap way of creating masks actually, and then you just have to have a repositionable adhesive or anything like that. So I have these temporary dots that I use for that. I adhered to stencil. I adhered it a bit crooked because I just thought that with the sentiment and such, it was a better way to position it. And then I'm also using Post-it tape to go around. I still have to die cut the panel out, and I just didn't want to be limited with what I could use for my complete panel because of some ink that was showing somewhere. So I'm just using my favorite Adhesives ink, cracked pistachio. It's such a bright but soft color. So here just on the tail, of course that mask wasn't going to work there. So I made sure to have it everywhere, the blue, and then I could remove the stencil. The Post-it tape I still have actually, and I colored this a bit back, but I kept it on my craft mat a bit higher up for my upcoming videos so that you cannot see it, but you can reuse it a few times if it is not too oversaturated or anything like that. So here I just have to remove those tiny dots from the adhesive, and then I will die cut this panel, figure out the grass, figure out the blue. So let's first do the grass. I used the combination that I actually will also share on my green blending chart with you. I don't use a G07 often, but it's a really lovely one. It's quite dark, but if you combine it with a lovely color like the yellow-green 23, you have this really vibrant green combination going on, and I really love it. So I'm not an expert on coloring grass or anything, I just want it to be interesting, so that's why I scribbled some of the darkest color here and there. For the shadowing of the critters, I use some sort of a logic, but on the grass it's really hard. What I do try to do is to start below the critters every time with the darkest one to just somehow create that shadow that they are leaving behind first, and then I scribble with all of the rest. Now, since I used this cracked pistachio, I decided to go with a BG combination for the flowers, the ball, but also the it is just slipping my mind, the dragonfly. It's a dragonfly. I'm sorry that it was a bit out of camera. I didn't think about it. So here, really simple coloring, and then let's die cut this panel, okay? So I'm going to use the basic rectangles from my elephant. It's one of my basics. If you have any other rectangular die that gives you an A2 sized panel, that's great. I would use that. But if you can trim it yourself, then you can also do that. But I'm just the worst at that, so I'm not doing that. I also love the fact that this die particularly has this stitching detail, but you don't have to use a die with that, but I like it. And now I have adhered my panel and my card is completely finished. It's a really wonderful, precious card. I hope that you like it, that you got inspired, that you will check out the new release. There are 3 incredible digital stamps, including this one released. You will adore them. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to watch this video. I truly appreciate you all being here, and I wish you all an incredible day. Bye!